Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let's join, please. How are you coming, Shweta?
That your prasad Saturday.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Everybody has become a nice cook now. Because in Bhakti, Prabhupada said everybody should know cooking. Because anytime you want to get, and you offer the nice prasad. So, back support. Help her. See, this is how it is. Okay, so we can start it. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari 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 Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki
Jai,
Paad Ki
Jai.
Jai. Sai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for giving your association. So today we'll continue study our Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7. Before that, we'll begin with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatamirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya
Chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale
Sri
Swayam Rupa Damayam
Dandavam
Dadati Swapadam
Padantikam
Deham Sri Guru Padakmalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Krishna Namo Vishnu Padaya
Krishna
Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate
Bhakti Vedanta
Bhakti
Swami Nami
Namaste Saraswati
Saraswati Devi Gaurani
Prachari
Prachari Nirvishekar Sunnavadi Paschata Deshe Tarini
Jai Shri Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Ram
Rama
Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama Hare Rama Rama
Ram
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Rama Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much, dear devotees. So we'll begin study of our so we'll get started. So last time we read up to shloka number 11. So today we'll begin with shloka number 12. So if you remember in the 4th chapter, so all the Shavanakradi Rishi, they have asked questions about, they want to know how this Bhagavatam manifested. how it started. I mean, suddenly something will not appear. There is a reason behind anything to happen. So they wanted to know how the advent of Bhagavatam happened, how it came. So that answer is now coming. Because they all wanted to know about, Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is listening to who is Parikshit Maharaj, how he came, all this detail they wanted to know. So that's a question which is, the question will come now. So this is a question that they are asking. So this is very interesting, all this scripture, they always have question and answer. So we learn more in question and answer. In fact, I hear some lecture, then I pay more attention in the question and answer. Because there are so many nice information comes out, which we are also wanting to learn. It comes in there, and sometimes it answers some of our doubts and questions and all that. So it becomes very helpful. So that's why question answer is very, very important. Hare Krishna, please come, please. So shloka number 12. Let's all recite. Parikshitoth Rajarshir
Parikshitota Rajarse
Janma Karma Vilapanam
Janma Karma Vilapanam
Samstha cha Panduputranam
Tam Chapatu Pundranam
Te Krishna Kathodayam.
Vase Krishna Kathodayam.
Yes. Can you please read translation?
Sutta Goswami thus addressed the rishis headed by Shaunaka. Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage amongst kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So here one important word is there. Parikshit Maharaj is addressed as what? Rajarshi. Rajarshi means the sage among the king, means very pious person. This is a confirmation, Rajarshi. Normally you have rishis, but he is Raja. The king, but he is behaving like a Raja. Rishi. Means he has got all the qualities of Rishi, but he's just administrating. No having attachment, nothing of that sort. So that is why he is addressed as that. So let us read the purport. Very, very interesting purport. Some instructions are. So purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Krishna is so kind to the fallen souls that he personally incarnates himself amongst the different kinds of living entities and takes part with them in daily activities. Any historical fact, old or new, which has connection with the activities of the Lord is to be understood as a transcendental narration of the Lord. Now, this is the important point. What is Prabhupada saying? That anything that we read, okay, if it has a connection with the Lord's activities, then that is transcendental. So, what are the transcendental literatures? Is Bhagavad Gita transcendental? Bhagavatam?
Yes. Yes.
Mahabharata?
Yes.
Mahabharata is it? Okay. Yes, Mahabharata. Though Krishna is not in the center, Mahabharata is more of a politics, diplomacy, all war, all the stuff. But Krishna
But
is.
Gita has been spoken during Mahabharata, right?
Yes, Bhagavad Gita is spoken during Mahabharata. You're right.
So then we are transcendental as well.
It is transcendental, absolutely. So wherever Krishna's details are the past time, anything which is discussed about Krishna, then because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna, Bhagavatam is about Krishna, his incarnation, his devotees, all this is discussed in Bhagavatam. So it is also transcendental. But anything other than that, it is not transcendental. So, all these novels that make the writers millionaires, this Harry Potter, that I don't know who is the author, but she's a millionaire, right? Because she made so much money. But that is not transcendental. Even if you read, nothing is going to change in our life. Probably we'll do some nonsense activities. then becoming more spiritual. So it is mentioned that all this kind of scripture which does not have any transcendental activities is called pilgrimage for crow. Where does crow goes? They go to garbage, right? So those are all garbage kind of things that we should not study. We should focus more on scripture where it takes closer to Krishna. Therefore, every day we may read a lot of other stuff because of the work and study and all those things, but we must take shelter of at least few pages of transcendental literature. There is Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Mahabharata we should read, but not much required. But Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, these are the transcendental literatures that we should read every day, few pages. If we cannot spend too much time, at least few pages. So at least we are getting absorbed in that. In fact, today only I was talking to one of my colleagues in Seattle, and he said for last 15 years I'm trying to read Bhagavad Gita, and I have not been able to read. 15 years he's been trying. Just imagine. 15 years. It's a long time. He said I'm getting so caught up with my work and all that that I'm not able to do it. I said, how come is it like that? I mean, then I talked about what I do and all this. So we were discussing, and he was getting, and I told him I can get you connected with all what people do in Seattle because we have ISV, and he lives like half an hour from there. 34 minutes is why I saw he gave me the location. 34 minutes. So yeah, get me connected. I want to start somewhere. So I'm going to talk to somebody in Seattle so that they'll connect him. But this is like, see, this is 15 years. And he says, I read every day for 30 minutes before going to bed. I said, what do you read? He said, I just pick up some books. And then I read sometimes some technology book. And then he says, I also read about, he got some book about Gaur Gopal Das book he got. And so I read, I said, okay, that is good. At least you read that.
Read something.
Read something. He got, I just got this new book. I said, okay, this is good. You read this.
Prabhuji, there's a big ISKCON temple in Seattle as well.
Yeah. ISV there, ISKCON of Silicon Valley.
No. That is in San Francisco, not in Seattle. So Seattle, there is another temple where Arjun Saka Prabhu, he goes most of the time.
No. So where is ISV?
ISV is in Mountain View. It's in California, where Vaisheshika Prabhu is there.
Yeah, but he lives from there. I just put his address and my address, and it was 34 minutes. So maybe I'm confused with Seattle, probably.
Yeah, Seattle is different. Bro. Seattle is in Washington State, but San Francisco is in California. In San Francisco, we have ISV.
Okay. All right. So maybe that's a location. I'm not very good in geography understanding. So that's fine. So he basically got connected and we go there. I think he's going in for some. You're going to Seattle, right? In your summer? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you can get him connected, when you go there. I'll tell you, we have a sincere student, you can meet him. So, okay. So we'll go there. So that is what it is. Any literature which does not have mention of Lord Krishna and his activities, it is mundane, right? That we should not read. That's what it is. So he says, without Krishna, all the supplementary literatures like Puranas and Mahabharata are simply stories of historical facts. If Krishna was not there in Mahabharata, it was simply historical facts. Oh, something happened, two kings fought, and all those things will come. But nothing more than that. If Krishna was not there in Mahabharata. You see, this is how it is transcendental. But with Krishna, they become transcendental. And when we hear of them, we at once become transcendentally related with the Lord. As soon as we hear about Krishna, it is like associating with Krishna in a way. When we read Bhagavad Gita, it means we are hearing from Krishna directly. We should hear as if Krishna is telling us. We should not read it's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjun, and they are talking and we are just observers. No, we are not observers. We have to take part as if Krishna is giving that instruction to all of us. That is how we should read. So this is very important. Srimad Bhagavatam is also a Puran, but the special significance of these Puran is that the activities of the Lord are central and not just supplementary historical facts. This is not historical. Normal. See, if you hear about biography of any leader and all that, it's a historical. He lived his life. He did this. If you read about Martin Luther King here. Then, okay, he brought some revolution. He brought equality among, black and white, all those things. It's good, but it's a historical fact, nothing more than that. But when you hear about Krishna, he did all the activity, then that is transcendental. Srimad Bhagavatam is thus recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the spotless Purana. It is Amalam Purana. So therefore, it should be read all the time. That's why we say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam means every day we have to read. Every day we have to hear. Every day. There is nothing like, earlier in my days, when I was in hostel, I used to leave college and all that. Weekend means I will sleep more. Oh, it's like because weekdays we are so busy. Now weekend, don't wake me up. No alarm. Alarm will be switched off. Whenever my eyes will open, I will wake up. But now we realize that that's a loss of time, right? In ignorance, I was sleeping. Probably I could have read so much thing, but that was not the case because there was no guide at that time for me. So therefore, we should make sure that we follow the routine every day, regardless it is, because for spirituality, there is no holiday. We cannot say, today I'll take holiday, 16 now. No, I don't want to do it. Maybe tomorrow, no. It's every day, regular. So we have to do that. This is a class of less intelligent devotees. There is a class of less intelligent devotees of the Bhagavad Purana who desire to relish at once the activities of the Lord narrated in the 10th canto without first understanding the primary cantos. Now, this is a big mistake people do, and that's why the confusion arises. They go straight to the 10th chapter, 10th canto. And I'll tell you, in India, whatever Bhagavatam Katha happens, they all relate only on canto 10. 7-day Bhagavad Katha. And they will talk about Krishna's birth, Krishna's Leela, all these things they will talk. They don't know much about it. So they think Krishna is some person and he did all this thing and that is what it is. That's how they take back the message. Because they have not understood. Prabhupada tells one very important line here. See, let's read this purport further. Very, very important. They are under the false impression that the other cantos are not connected with Krishna. And thus, more foolishly than intelligently, they take to the reading of the 10th canto. Now, here, Prabhupada says in next 2 lines, very important instruction for all of us and all the readers. These readers are specifically told herein that other cantos of the Bhagavatam are as important as 10th canto. They're as important. No one, here Prabhupada says, no one should try to go into the matters of the 10th canto without having thoroughly understood the purport of the 9 cantos. So he's not reading. Please remember, he's Prabhupada saying what? Understanding, not understanding, thoroughly understanding. I mean, then we understand the subject matter. Okay, who Krishna is, how he created this, how is the relationship with other people is going to work. That is what is understanding. It is not just about reading, how read, and then we are done. No, then there will be confusion in our mind. Oh, why did Krishna did Rasila? Why he was doing this activity? Why he is stealing butter? What is he? I mean, he's a god. That's a thought will come. How can he lift mountain? What is this? This is all bogus. This is how people will think. I was listening to one clip, some audio clip somebody sent about my Guru Maharaj. And one student was there. And this is all Maya, why you have temple and all those things. This is very powerful. And Maharaj is silencing like anything. It's amazing response. So when people think because he has not read the whole thing, and without that they come and then they discuss. So it's all mundane discussion because we have not understood. If we read and understand, all the question will be answered there and then. And this purport, can we understand on our own? We need a guru, somebody to guide us. Otherwise, all, and this is so easily accessible now. It's in English, in the language we know, and any other mother tongue that we know, like English, Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, whatever language, we can read in our own language. Prabhupada had made it accessible so easily to all of us. And you have every 100 kilometers within India, you will find a devotee, minimum 100 kilometers. It is less than that only, but minimum you will find a temple, some Bhakti Vruksha running somewhere. you'll get connected. It's so easily Prabhupada has made it available. Krishna and his pure devotees, like the Pandavas, are on the same plane. This is also to be understood. That we cannot say Krishna is different and devotees are lower. Or, no. They are on the same plane. The pure devotees are equal to Krishna. That is why when we serve a pure Vaishnava, pure devotee, our spiritual life goes fast compared to directly serving Krishna. Krishna says, if you please my devotees, I'll be more pleased than pleasing him directly. So therefore, Vaishnava Seva is very important. Two things we should do. Jap very nicely and Vaishnava Seva. When we do this, our spiritual life will progress very fast. It's like a two tracks of a train. Both have to be there. Krishna is not without his devotees of all the rasas, and the pure devotees, like the Pandavas, are not without Krishna. So this is important. Krishna is never without the devotee. When Krishna was asked, where do you live? He says, I don't live in Vaikuntha. I don't live in anywhere else. I live where my devotees are singing my glories. Then they are doing my bhajan. That is where the Krishna lives. The devotees and the Lord are interlinked and they cannot be separated. They cannot be separated. Therefore, talks about them are all Krishna Katha or topics of the Lord. So when we read about Bhakti Vinod Thakur, when we read about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then it is as good as reading about Krishna Katha. It is no different. If you read biography of Gaur Govind Maharaj, then that is reading like Krishna Katha only, because it is so pure. From there we get a lot of inspiration. Lot of inspiration. Prabhupada has written, this, what is his name? I'm forgetting the Maharaj's name. He wrote very nice, 12 moons of Prabhupada. 12 moons, in which he talks about 12 devotees who have left this world, and he's glorifying those 12 devotees, like Bhakti Tej Maharaj.
Yeah.
All those things are written in that, and it's so beautiful. So when we read, we understand how they did bhakti, how they were able to control their senses, how they were able to do bhajan so strongly, how they were serving others. We get inspiration. See, all of us, we did not know anything when we were born. We did not know how to speak, what to do, all this. How we learn? By hearing and observing, right? That's how we learn. Whatever management language we are speaking, we have picked up from somewhere only. Somebody spoke and said, man, this statement looks good. Let me use it in my next speech. And we use it. Oh, he's doing the voice modulation, going up and down. Yeah, you should do this. And I will also use in some of mine. Sometime we'll get. So what we are doing, we are actually learning. We are actually imitating somebody. It means we are learning and then we are trying to say in our own way. Same thing when we hear and read about these Guru Maharaj, these disciples, these pure devotees, then what happens? We will also try to do like that. Oh, there is a success story. Somebody did it. I can also do it. Therefore, we should read this. Reading about devotees, pure devotees, is as transcendental as reading about Krishna. Because that will lead us to Krishna. When we say how Bhakti Tej Maharaj, despite so much difficulties, he's saying, this is the best situation. I will not exchange my situation with anybody. He says that on his deathbed. I will not exchange this situation with anybody else, anything else. That is his consciousness. So we can also develop like that. That is what we should think. Okay, let's go to next. So in the next verse, this is a very heinous act which is done by Aswasthama. He killed 5 sons of Draupadi when they were sleeping. And we'll see why it is so heinous. It is unforgivable. Unforgivable. So let us read about this verse. Yada mrudye kaura sujyanam vireshvat vireshvato viragatim gateshu Vrukodara vittagadar bhimarsh Bhagno Rudande Dutrascha Putre
Astu putre
Bhartuhu Priyam Drauniriti Sma Pashyan
Bhakti iti samaprasham
Krishna Sutanam Swapatam Shiramsi
Natanam sapatam siramsi
Upahara Dvipriyameva Tasya
Divipriya vivatasya
Jugupsitam Karma Vigaryahan Yantihi.
Jugaram karma vikarma hanti.
Yes. Sri Ram Prabhu, please read.
When the respective warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations, and when the son of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimasena, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwatthama, beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered the heads as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act, and he was not pleased in the least. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So now this is a very painful situation here, like a mother losing 5 children, and especially Draupadi had lost his father in the battle. Drupad was killed, and then his brother, alone single brother, was also killed by Ashwasthama. Dushadumya was killed by Ashwasthama, and now his 5 sons. So look at her. Everything is lost for her. Everything. What a condition. Now just keep this in mind, because we need to understand future, how her consciousness is still so pure. This is important. See how much she is going through a pain, right? We lose somebody, our near and dear one, and how much pain we feel. At that moment, how much painful that situation is, right? But here she is losing her father, she lost her brother, and now all her 5 sons, which are in teenage, they all are murdered. So it's a very painful situation that we should keep in mind. And how the one thing that we can learn from this Draupadi Devi is that how she's so, remaining composed in this situation and making the right decision as a Vaishnava. This is the quality of Vaishnava that we will see as we read this further. Amazing quality. Today we may not be able to reach there, but that's a quality we should keep in mind. And we should try to develop that. Because for us, little agitation and how much trouble we have. Within devotee itself, so much trouble. Somebody says something a little bit and our ego boom, comes out, and then, okay, I'm not coming next time in the program. I'm not meeting. Yeah, this is what happens. I leave the group. People do this also. All these things happen. I will not post anything. Because somebody say, hey, what are you posting? This is not good, and all that. They'll stop posting. Why? The ego is hurt. In fact, question was asked to one Guru Maharaj. He says, Maharaj, we have devotees in a home, right? Spouse is devotee, I am a devotee, everybody is chanting, doing Vigraha Puja, Prasadam, all that. Still we have quarrels in a home. Why is it so? Isn't it? The devotee, the quarrel stops, okay? So, yeah, they reduce a little bit, but they don't stop completely. The Maharaj said, it is because there are 2 egos, false ego living in the same home. And that's why this happens. So it's because of the ego, this quarrel takes place. Nothing else. I like it this way. It has to be done this way. Somebody likes this way. Oh, why it is done this way? That's why the ego clash happens. Even for a small matter. All right. So that's what it is. So, but we will see how Draupadi Devi is so composed. So much to learn from her. And normally we hear this. See, that is why we have to understand this purport. Normally, when we read Mahabharata and other things, what happened? Okay, Draupadi's 5 sons were killed, and she was crying, and this happened, that happened. We will not get the intensity of that unless we read these things in detail. So let's read the purport. Transcendental topics of the activities of Lord Shri Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam begin from the end of the battle at Kurukshetra. Because when the Kurukshetra ended, that's where the Mahabharata, the Srimad Bhagavatam started. Because Parikshit Maharaj's life and he's questioning, so he starts from there. Lord himself spoke about himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna told, who am I, right? In the 10th chapter, Krishna talks about all his vibhutis, right? Opulences. Therefore, both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are transcendental topics of Lord Krishna. The Gita is Krishna Katha, means is topics of Krishna because it is spoken by the Lord, and Bhagavatam is also Krishna Katha because it is spoken about the Lord, right? Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to be informed of both Krishna Katha by his order. Both. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told you must read both Bhagavad Gita as well as Bhagavatam. And we should understand, read and understand both of them. Very, very important. For us, these scriptures should be life and soul. We should keep reading again and again and again and again. Because every time we read, and that's what my personal experience is, every time I read, I find that there is a different meaning. Oh, this I never thought about it. When I hear a lecture on the same shloka of different Maharaj, different Vaishnava, different meaning is conveyed, different story is connected, and that gives so much deep satisfaction. Oh, this I never knew. So every time I read, it looks fresh. It is not like, oh, I only read it. No, it is not like that. Every time we read, it gives something new meaning. So that means I'm reading something new, isn't it? That's what keeps us going, again, reading and reading. We never get bored. We chant 16 round of Mahamantra, 2 hours. We have to sit intensely and chant. If you do anything else other than that, any name you try and speak, we'll get bored in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But Hare Krishna Mantra, we feel so pleased. We keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. We keep chanting again and again. And sometimes we want to chant more. Oh, this is so good, let me chant more. Today's Ekadashi, I'll chant maybe 1 extra round, 2 extra. So this is because the Lord's name is there. If we remove any mantra we take, any mantra, Om Namo Narayana, if you remove Narayana, that is no meaning. It has nothing to do with that. Om Govindaya Namaha, remove Govinda and that mantra has no meaning. All the meaning is there because the name of Krishna is there. That's why the mantra has meaning. Otherwise, mantra has no meaning. It does not give any benefit. Let's read further. Lord Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna himself in the garb of a devotee of Krishna, and therefore the version of both Lord Krishna and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are identical. Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in India seriously understand such Krishna Kathas, and then, after full realization, preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world. This is a shloka which comes from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very nice verse. It says that Bharata Bhumile Janma, Bharata Bhumile Hoilo Janma. I'm not able to find it. So, Bharata Bhumile Hoilo Janma. So, Janma Sarthaka Karikara Para Upakar means if you are born in India, that means you have to first do upkar for yourself. You become qualified. And then once you become qualified, go and preach to the whole world. And that's exactly what Prabhupada did. Prabhupada learned and then he shared this knowledge all over the world. So that's what it is. We should do that. So anybody talk to your neighbors and say, hey, have you read this? Give him Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Give him some lecture to listen to Prabhupada lecture. They can listen. And someday they will get attracted. So that is our responsibility as a devotees. So we should tell, wherever we go, we should tell somebody. Like today I was able to talk to my colleague in Seattle and tell him, hey, connected. So now we'll get him connected someday. Like that we can do. Today my boss from Gainesville asked me, because he knows what I do and all. He says, do you know anybody who does car puja in Alachu? I said, yeah, I will get you connected. Because my friend bought the car. Now I don't know that person, but he told me, and he said, thank you very much. And I contacted somebody in Alachu and they said, yeah, I will give you the name, give my number. So Now, see how we have to connect people somewhere or other. Immediately we should say, yeah, I will get you to him. I may not have detail right now, but I will get you. That should be our response. Don't worry, I'll get you that. I need Bhagavad. Do you have Bhagavad? I don't have, but I will get you. If you don't have, give our personal gift. You take this. I will bring new one. If you're marking, then you say, restart reading, I'll bring it back. I'll get you new, and then I'll take it back. But give there and then, because don't lose that opportunity of giving someone. Otherwise, he said, tomorrow his mind will go somewhere else. He said, no, I have decided not to read this. It can happen, right? In the sales and all that, it happens. You say, today I'm getting the order, and you go and say, no, I think we have decided to go somebody else. It happens in sales so many times. I have faced it. So people can change mind very quickly. So that's why we have to keep them connected. The transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world that will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world. This is a world where everything, war, everything is happening. So peace is not there. People are trying to, like last time we discussed, like peace conference. So many peace conferences have happened. Has peace been established in the world? In fact, more wars are happening. More dominance is, everybody's trying to dominate certain part of the world. Some country who has no connection in that region, they also want to go there. For what? You stay here, you manage your local, but no, they want to go there. So this is how it is. So here, one of the heinous act which is done by this Ashwasthama. So let me bring that. I think I have. Yeah, I think I should have got this slide. So here, it will come in the later part, but I want to just show there are 6 types of aggressors. The poison giver, one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapon, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, one who kidnaps a wife. Now, these are the 6 types of aggressor. In Manusmriti, it is mentioned that all these aggressors can be punished by killing them. That's what it says. Now, Duryodhana had done all of this. All was done by he gave poison to Bhim. He put Lakshagra on the fire. He attacked Pandavas with deadly weapons. Many war happened. He plundered riches by gambling and doing cheating in there. Occupied other land. When they went back, saying that give us our land back because we have come back in 14 years, 12 years. He did not give. And he kidnapped. He is trying to disrobe his wife. All this he did. So he is like aggressor of worst kind of thing. He did everything. But he also did not approve Ashwasthama's act. You see that? That means Ashwasthama was even worse than him. Somebody who is so worse, he disapproves some action. Means that action should be so abominable. More than that. Here it is mentioned. Duryodhana, however, disapproved the heinous act. So this is what we have to understand. How cruel Ashwasthama was. He butchered the son. I mean, can we think about it? It's so dangerous. Okay, so let us go to next verse. This is a very important verse, very nice verse, especially explaining the situation of Draupadi Devi. Mata Shishunam Nidanam Sutanam
Nidanam Sutana
Nimashya Goram Paritapyamana Tadarudvaspa Kalakulakshi
Kalakulakshi
Tamsant Vyanna Ahakirtamali
Vyana Naha Kirtiyamali
Tamsant Vyanna Tamsant
Ali.
Yes, Vijay Mother, can you please read the translation?
Trying to pacify her in great loss, Arjuna spoke to her thus.
So, Hare Krishna. There is no purport here, but this is a See, this is sometimes the one Acharya gives a commentary on this verse. Normally in Sanskrit, they don't repeat the word the same meaning in the shloka. Whenever a shloka is spoken, same meaning word are not repeated. That's the Sanskrit language. We use so many same language, same word in English and other language, but in Sanskrit it's never like that. But in this verse, you can see Mata Shishunam Nidhanam Sutanam. Shishu and Suda both means child. Both means children.
Shisu and Suta.
Suta.
Okay.
Sutana.
Hmm.
Both are considered to be child. Now, why this repetition is happening? So, one Acharya says that it is because Draupadi Devi is in so much pain. She just lost her five children. 5 children are lost. So she's in so much pain. Now, how can someone pacify a mother who lost so many children? It's very difficult. We cannot, I mean, it is impossible to pacify such a person. Very difficult. But here, the Acharya says that, okay, we cannot, we cannot pacify you by, giving some kind of condolences and all that. But at least we can add one extra word, understanding your pain, that how painful it is for you. So that's why they add the same word, that too in the same line. Maybe the word can be repeated, but not in the same line. But here the same meaning is repeated twice to show the pain of Draupadi Devi, that how much she was aggrieved with this action of Ashwasthama. So this is, and Sutta Goswami speaking. So it's like that. See here, you can see, if you word to word meaning, if you read, it says, Mata is my mother, means Draupadi Devi, Shishunam, of the children, Nidhanam, who were murdered, Sutanam, of the sons, her sons. So again, both are used. So this is what it is. And who is speaking? Sutta Goswami speaking. So it's like that. So this is, Acharya gives this very wonderful understanding that we probably, if we read translation, we will not understand. But this is the power of, reading from Acharya's commentary and reading Srila Prabhupada's commentaries. Okay. Next. Arjuna vows to behead Ashwasthama. So Ashwasthama is now getting beheaded. He vows, he tells Draupadi, I'm going to kill Ashwatthama. So let's read this verse. Tada suchaste ami badre
Tada sudaste badre
yad brahma bandho shira atatayinah kati mukte vishikhe upahare
Deva bhakte visike rupare
tvakramya yasna tvakramya yasna sashi dagda putra
putra.
O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head.
So this is language of Kshatriya. The warrior will speak. Normal, we will not use this language. Right? This is Mahabharata. This is Mahabharata. So, yeah. So here is Prabhupada writes in the purport. The enemy who sets fire to the house, administers poison, attacks all of a sudden with deadly weapons, plunders wealth, or usurps agriculture fields, or entices one's wife to, is called an aggressor. So we just talked about these 6 aggressors, right? This is what it is. Such an aggressor, though he be a Brahman or so-called son of Brahman, he has to be punished in all circumstances. when Arjun promised to behead the aggressor named Ashwatthama, he knew well that Ashwatthama was the son of Brahman. But because the so-called Brahman acted like a butcher, he was taken as such, and there was no question of sin in killing such a Brahmana's son who proved to be a villain. So normally killing of a Brahman is a very, very, sinful activity. It is not forgivable. In fact, when we do parikrama of Tulsi, when we do Tulsi puja and then we do parikrama, we say, Yani Kani Chapapani Brahma Hatya. So even Brahma Hatya can be, eradicated by if you circumambulate Tulsi Maharaj. But that doesn't mean we should do it. But here the point is that it is so heinous activity that it cannot be done. It cannot be undone. So therefore, killing such a person is not a sin. That's what it is mentioned here. Okay. So any example from Shastra for all this? We learned about Duryodhan. We did all this, but any other examples which anybody can give from Shastra about these actions? A poison giver. Who gave poison to anybody? Yeah, he administered poison to Prahlad Maharaj. Yes. Good.
Ravan, Prabhu, he kidnapped Ram's wife.
Yes, Bilas Prabhu.
Ravan.
No, Ravan will come under next. We'll go, but we'll talk about first point.
Putna tried to
kill Krishna himself. Very nice. So these are all poison givers. Putna, Chitraketu's wives gave poison to Harshashoka. And then Prabhuji mentioned about Prahlad Maharaj was administered poison by his own father. So these are the poison giver. Okay, next. One who sets fire to the house. Duryodhan who sets fire. Yes.
Duryodhan.
Yeah, Duryodhan. Yeah. Third, one who attacks with deadly weapons. So many are there. Right? Ashwatthama, of course, he did that. You're like somebody sleeping and you kill them. Which is definitely.
I do not recall the Asura's name, but many Asuras also.
Yeah, every Asura everywhere is filled with all examples. Yes, they all attack without deadly weapons. One who plunders riches. Again, Duryodhana who took, in the gambling match. So that is there. One who occupies another's land. Again, Duryodhana who took the land because he didn't give. And one who kidnaps a wife. Ravana. Yes, all these things are there. So all these things are not forgivable. Those cannot be forgiven because his actions are, as per Shastra, they are not pardonable. That's what it means. So Duryodhana did all of this, but still he says he's disapproved. So that means we can see that's even
he also has some ethics.
Yeah, some ethics are there. At least some. See, he was actually good diplomat. He was thinking from that point of view. But he was having a lot of ego. He was so egoistic that he will not allow the umbrella for a shade above his head. Normally, when a king is going, there will be umbrella, so at least you get shade. He says nothing should be above me. Not even umbrella. I will get wet in the rain. I will get scorching sun on my head, but I will not have umbrella. That is his ego. That was his ego. So you can imagine how much ego Duryodhana had. Nothing above my head. He couldn't see anybody higher than him. He wanted to rule the whole world. That's what it is. So ego is very, very, very bad. Okay, let's move on to the next verse. So now chase happens. Arjun mounts on the chariot and then takes Gandev and goes after Ashwatthama. So let's read. Iti priyambal govichitra jalpai.
Iti priyambal govichitra jalpai.
Sasantva Yitva Chutamitra Sutaha Anvadravattam Sita Ugra Dhanva
Vadram damstaita ugradana
Kapi Dvajo Guru Putram Rathena.
Arjuna, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Aswathama, the son of his martial teacher.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
So now he goes after, he promised Draupadi. He pacifies, okay, I will take care of him. I'll bring him, then we'll punish him. He says that. And then he moves on to capture. So in those days, Kshatriya will keep the word. Whatever they say, they will do it, even at the cost of their lives. Right now, it is not like that because we are in Kali Yuga. But in earlier yugas, people will keep the word. Today also, there are people who keep the word, like, even they lose something, they will still keep the word. No, I told you, so I will do it, like that. But Kshatriya definitely, they keep the word. Okay. Now, Arjun vows to behave. That's what it is. So let us read shloka number 18. What happened? Okay, now it is. So shloka number 18. Tamatpanam sa vilakshya dura kumaraho digna manarathena paradravat prana paripasurvaya Yavad gamam rudra bhayadyathaakah. Yes, you want to read? Yes, thank you.
Awasama, the murder of the princes, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot, panic stricken. Just to save his life, as Pramana fled in fear of Shiva.
Hear from Shiva.
Hear from Shiva.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So first you can read it Aswathama. Ashwathama. Ashwathama. Ashwa means horse. Ashwathama. Okay, purport. According to the reading matter, either Ka or Akraha, there are two references in the Puranas. Ka means Brahma, who once became allured by his daughter and began to follow her, which infuriated Shiva, who attacked Brahma with his trident. Brahmaji fled in the fear of his life. As far as Akraha is concerned, there is reference in the Vaman Puran. There was a demon by the name Vidyunamali, who was gifted with a golden airplane which traveled to the back of the sun, and night disappeared because of the glowing effulgence of his plane. Thus the sun god became angry, and with his virulent rays he melted the plane. This enraged Lord Shiva. The Lord Shiva then attacked the sun god, who fled away and at last fell down at Kashi, Varanasi, and the plane became famous Lokara. So there are two stories Prabhupada is giving an example that how Ashwathama fled in fear. Oh, I'm now getting killed. I have to run. That's why he's running away. So he's just giving an analogy that how fearful he was, because he knew now his death is imminent. It is coming. Sure, he cannot escape. Because Duryodhana disapproved, So he doesn't have support of Duryodhana also, right? Now he's on his own. He has no support. And now Arjun is chasing him. He knows how Arjun is powerful. So now he's worried about that. So let's read the next. So now the Brahmastra. So what happens when you are in the last, when you have nothing to do, what do? You do your best, whatever, worst thing, whatever. You don't think of the repercussions of your action. We say, I want to save, I will do whatever I want. Like when we try to save a drowning person, what happens? They will catch hold of the lifeguard. And they will drown him. If the lifeguard is not careful, they will drown the lifeguard. So lifeguard normally catches a drowning person by the hair, so that they don't do anything else. If you go close to them, they will just because they are trying to save them. It's not that they want to drown the lifeguard, but it is because they want to save themselves and they will do this action. So this is what Ashwatthama is going to do. He is releasing Brahmastra, which is the ultimate weapon. It's like today's nuclear atom bomb, like that. It is like that. Okay. Yada sharanmatmana namekshata. Sorry. Yada sharanam atmanam.
Yada saranam atmanam.
Aikshat shranta vajinam.
Vajinam.
Astram brahma siro mene.
Astram brahma silo mene.
Atma tranam dvijatmajah.
Son of Brahmana Ashwatthama saw that his horses were tired. He considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, nuclear weapon.
So here, two things. In earlier days, at that time, till Dwapar Yuga, they could invoke a weapon by mantra. They can bring yantra by mantra. They just chant and yantra will appear. It was what you say, carbon neutral friendly kind of weapon. Now you need to create something, you need so much carbon pollution and all that. But that time it was eco-friendly weapon. And that too, you don't have to carry it. You just mantra and then it will come. It was that powerful. So when you think that, when Arjuna is fighting or Lord Ram was fighting with Ravana, how they will have so many quiver, bow in the quiver. They will not have that many. They'll just keep pushing and through mantra it will keep coming. And they'll bring different weapons and all that. So by mantra, Ashwatthama is now bringing. But he doesn't know how to retrack it. See, once you send a weapon, then it just goes. You cannot bring it back. Like, spoken words, we cannot bring it back. Right? An arrow which is one shot, you cannot bring it back. That's why it is mentioned that we should speak wisely. Because once it is gone, it's gone. Then you can't say, hey, sorry, I bring it back. Right? So that's what is happening. Ashwatthama doesn't know how to retract a Brahmastra. He only knew how to release it. But suppose I have to, I made a mistake, let me bring it back. There is a technique which you can use, but he doesn't know. But
he just wanted to go.
Yeah, he did not know how to come out of the Chakravyuh. He was only able to penetrate it, but he did not know come out. But here, Ashwatthama in the same condition, he doesn't know how to retract, but he released Brahmastra. Now Brahmastra is a very deadly weapon. It is not a normal, arrow. So here it is mentioned. And there is one word which is used, which is very important. The Suta Goswami and Sukadeva Goswami, they are so smart. They are so beautifully, they are using this word. We'll read that. In the ultimate issue only, when there is no alternative, the nuclear weapon called Brahmastra is applied. When nothing is there. This is the last one. In normal language before also, in my childhood, we used to use words like, this is like a Rambam. When you take it, it will solve all your problem. They're like a Brahmastra. Just take it.
Rambani Laj.
Yeah, they will say like that. But actually, that should not be used like that. We should use it appropriately. But that means that it will end all your problems. The word Dvija Mataha is significant. This is important. Here, because Ashwatthama, although the son of Dronacharya, was not exactly a qualified Brahman. So what it means that just by taking birth in a particular lineage, we doesn't qualify to become part of that lineage. We have to endeavor. Just because you are born in Brahman family, if we keep doing nonsense activities, then we are not real Brahman. Just by putting a thread, one doesn't become Brahman. Okay, so this is important. The most intelligent man is called Brahman, and it is not a hereditary title. So this is not coming in the hereditary. Ashwatthama was also formally called Brahma Bandhu, or the friend of Brahman. He was not called Brahman. He was a friend of Brahman or a son of Brahman. That's what is used here. So this shows the character of Ashwatthama, that he was not a true Brahman. He was a son of Brahman, but he was not a true Brahman, because it is not a title that you get by birth. You have to actually earn it. You have to earn it by your exemplary behavior. A friend of or son of Brahman, when fully qualified, can be called Brahman and not otherwise. Since Ashwatthama decision is immature, he is purposely called herein as a son of Brahman, because his action is immature. He doesn't know what to do. Just for killing one person, he is releasing Brahmastra. It's going to create so much problems. So next. So here also, next verse talks about that. Let's read that. Athopasprushya salilam sandade tatsamahitah agyana api samharam prana pruchha upasthite. Can you please read translation?
Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapons.
So here he is confirmed that he is just by chanting, you are able to invoke the weapon, just by chanting. Today we spend so much money and energy and time to create one missile, which can go like here and there, and then some ballistic missile and intercontinental missile. So many things which comes in, right? And then there's another weapon created to protect from there. All those things, but it requires so much effort. But here, so the technology in the earlier days were much powerful. It was much powerful than what is today. We think we are advancing, but are we really advancing?
No.
No. We need TV and so many gadgets, dish and Wi-Fi and all that to see some lighting. We see, but there, Sanjay was watching in Hastinapur what is happening in Kurukshetra. So that technology was very powerful at this time. All these weapons were all just recite mantra and it will appear, and then you can use that. So it is like that. It is not. So I think we'll stop here. There are many things to cover, but we have to read this in conjunction, because Krishna's prayer, Arjun prays to Krishna because he saw the Brahmastra. He says, "This is it. How can I escape it? This is." So he's also praying because Arjun also knows how to release Brahmastra. He has learned because he's learned from Dronacharya. Ashwatthama also learned from Dronacharya, but he's immature. So Arjun did not want to, create more problems. So he's taking shelter of Krishna. So this teaches that whenever we are in some difficult situation or a situation is not favorable, we should immediately take shelter of
Krishna.
Lord Hari, Sri Krishna. immediately. And then we'll get guidance, the right guidance, the transcendental guidance. This is what we should do. And then we follow those instructions, then we can come out of that problem. But many times what happens when problem we try to solve ourselves. We should put some effort, but keep praying that I'm trying, but I don't know whether I will be successful. And Krishna will provide guidance. So we'll read about what is prayers of Arjun and then what is the Krishna's response next week. So Monday we have Gaur Purnima festival in the temple. Yeah, so all of you please come to temple because it is appearance of the most munificent, most merciful Lord. And he appeared just 500 years ago, 550 years ago. So it is very auspicious to take part in his birth celebration. We go to birthday parties, right? We have attended so many so far. Now this is a birthday party, you can say, of the most merciful Bhagwan. So all of you please come. Monday evening, the program starts about 6 o'clock in the temple. And we all can celebrate nice kirtan, abhishek. There will be lecture and then feast prasadam as always. And that day we fast till moonrise. Fast from grains till moonrise, so you can avoid that. In fact, the whole day we don't eat grains. Even in prasad, it is non-grain prasadam. So if you want to eat, eat only quinoa or banana, fruits, milk. All those things can be taken. What you take in Ekadashi normally, that you can take. But it is good to fast and then eat in the evening after the moonrise. So please attend this program. It is very, very auspicious day. Mahaprabhu is going to advent. So we can take part in this. So please come Monday evening. I hopeful Bilasful, I hope you'll get well by then.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Yeah, so please come. Okay, so we'll stop here because other part will take a longer time. So I don't want to. Today's Ekadashi devotee who may want to chant extra round. So we'll stop. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or a correction? Okay, if not, then we'll stop. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo
Namaha.
Anant Kori Vaishnavinda ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.